So before joining Singita Volcanoes National Park, I worked for 5 years in Nyungwe National Park. So we used to have many researchers who were interested in doing some work on orchids, and I could actually work alongside them, and that's how I developed an interest in understanding and conservation of wild orchids.
We focused on orchids in this area because they are very much an integral part of the forestation around here. This area was so rich in orchids at some point, and so many of them have been lost.
Not only are we conserving and protecting orchids, but we also ensure that our guests actually who visit us get to learn more about these orchids. One thing that I actually do is take around guests on nature walks. We actually point out some of the orchids that are hanged in trees on the property and others that we have on walls around the property, but also taking them at our orchid collection center in the nursery site.
They come in so many different forms, colors, shapes, sizes, and of course the magic of their mimicry was very important.
We try as much as possible to point out these orchids and talk about the threats that actually threaten their existence in the world, because one of the major threats actually threatening this deforestation.
The deforestation has been quite dramatic, simply because of the need for land for agriculture. And so it was really of vital importance that we actually reintroduce the species that occur here naturally back into the environment here.
So that's why we as Singita not only want to see this area restored, but we also want to see the population of orchids recovering. Protection and conservation of wild orchids at Singita Volcanoes National Park falls in line with Singita's 100-year purpose, which is actually to protect and preserve large expanses of wilderness areas for future generations. So orchids being one of the threatened plant species, I feel privileged to also be part of the team at Singita that is actually contributing towards the conservation of these threatened orchid species. In future, I want to provide a scholarship to a local Rwandan student to undertake a study on propagation techniques of orchids, so that in future we'll be able to reintroduce these orchids in our reforested areas, but also reintroduce them in national parks in the country.
So it's conserve, protect, maintain, and share knowledge about all the plants as well. So it's very important that we conserve what is around and make them available for collections like Singita's, for national parks, so that they can be put back into the wild.
While this area is mainly known for mountain gorillas, there is so much more unique biodiversity in this landscape that we really want our guests to experience. Because if you are not looking closely, you can miss the fragile beauty.